What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to the introduction episode of the Uncle Project podcast. Today, we're just going to be answering a lot of questions today. What is the Uncle Project podcast? Who is Taco? Who is Mr. T? And yeah, we'll also get into some things like why I'm doing the podcast and how this can be of any benefit to you as a listener. So yeah, be sure to stick around to the end to get some of your questions answered. And also, if you're listening to this on Anchor, be sure to leave a comment and let me know if you have any other questions about the podcast. And let's get right into it. All right, so if you listen to the trailer, I did say that the podcast I'd be doing a lot of reviews and things of that sort, but I'll also be doing episodes like this if I feel like there's an opportunity for some growth and some understanding. And say I don't want to make this like a one-trick pony podcast. Yes, I will be doing reviews and updates on things that I'm reading and things that I'm studying, but I want to add some variety to the show as well. So yeah, some things that I'm thinking about right now is just having shows like this where I'm just sharing some things about myself or the podcast, and I'm kind of putting some segments together for some weekly series that I can do that I think would be a lot of benefit to you all as listeners as well. So this podcast, just my thinking of it, I kind of want to pair this with my stereo account, just because on both platforms I'm able to get a lot of input from people who are listening, and I kind of want to make this a place of engagement. So yeah, we will be doing some reviews. Be on the lookout for that, but also be on the lookout for some episodes like this, some more freestyle episodes like this, and like a weekly series that I'm putting together right now. But yeah, sounds good, doesn't it? Alright, so with that, we'll go ahead and get into our questions. All right, and let's go ahead and get right into our questions. So, first thing we'll be tackling is who is Mr. T? So, if you are getting into this content from either Twitter or Stereo or Anchor, you'll see my name listed as Mr. T. And say that's just something I'm doing more for my podcast and Stereo and things of that sort. But if you happen to look at my blogs and my vlogs, you'll see that my name is listed as Taco on those platforms. So who is Mr. T? Mr. T is a content creator. I create content on the Hive blockchain and on the LBRY blockchain as well. On LBRY, we post to a platform called Odyssey. So the Hive blockchain, it's just the place where I host all of my blogging content, just a really good platform, the way they have that set up. It's a decentralized platform that allows me to earn crypto for the content that I create. But yeah, so I create content there, and I also create content on Odyssey. Odyssey is more of a YouTube alternative. So I make more video content there. You'll also see my name listed as Taco on Odyssey. So on there, I do all kinds of content as well, tutorials, mobile app walkthroughs, and things of that sort. I'm recently kind of got into some vlogging. I think that's going to be a good way to promote my podcasting here on Anchor and on Stereo as well. But yeah, so the vlog, I do a little video editing, a little photo editing. Then say I do it all. I'm just a all around content creator at this point, especially doing this podcast here. Let's see who is Mr. T. So Mr. T, as you can tell from our conversation earlier, I'm also a hodler. Shout out to all the hodlers out there. I'm a music lover. I love sports, basketball, football, boxing. If you look at the Hive blog, I actually do a little bit of fights or boxing talk on that channel. I really want to do a giveaway for the zone. I'll try to find a link to that post and make sure I leave it here in this podcast so you all can participate in that giveaway. Let's see. I am a strategist that likes to experiment. So, yeah, whenever I first got on the Steem blockchain, it definitely wasn't the most popular platform around. It still isn't. It's still growing. But I do honestly feel like it's some of the best technology in the world and some of the best technology that I've gotten to interact with. I can say one of my favorite websites of all time. I don't know too much of what Tumblr is like now, but Tumblr at one point was like my favorite website, just the way that you can share things and interact with people. I really like that format, but Hive is like Tumblr on steroids, which is crazy. But yeah, so that is who Mr. T, who Taco is. I am all of these great things, great content creator, but most importantly of all, Mr. T is a uncle. So yeah, who is Mr. T? Mr. T's an uncle, baby. So yeah, with that said, we'll go ahead and get into our what of the day. All right, so what is the Uncle Project? So with the Uncle Project, main thing I want to set first is to make sure that this is a family environment. You know, this is for all the uncles out there. You know, all the brothers of uncles. You know, the sister of an uncle. You know, this is for all the uncle lovers and all the uncle less. You know, and say just being a new uncle. I feel like uncle is a really important part to play in the village that it takes to raise the young ones. It's a really good place to, whenever you need to talk about some things, you go to your brother, or you go to, you go to your kid's uncle, So yeah, being an uncle is a pivotal role in the community, and we have to take this role seriously. So yeah, this is a family environment. This is a participatory show. You all can always chime in and talk to me here in the comments on Anchor. And whenever I'm doing shows on stereo, you all can chime in there as well. Just make sure you talk to me. I kind of want this to be, these to be the platforms that I engage with you all the most. So this is just a project all about growth and development. So just making sure I myself and the listeners as well are growing creatively, financially, socially, just creating valuable relationships, and gaining, learning new skills, and just really all around growth, If I'm at my best, I'm in better shape to help the people around me. And it just makes for all around positive situation. So yeah, just want to make this an environment for growth for all of us. So that's what the Uncle Project will be all about. Sounds pretty good, right? Yeah. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and get into the win. All right, so win. We're going to get into a lot of wins on this portion of the podcast. So first thing we'll get into is when the Uncle Project started. So let's see, about a month ago, I decided to join a challenge called the 3 Steps No Excuses Challenge. All right, so I'll be talking to you all about the platform more as we go along the podcast, but this is a challenge that I decided to get into on the Hive blockchain, and it was put on by the ClickTrack Profit Tribe on the blockchain, and it was just a challenge that helped me learn a lot about social media in different ways that I can interact with people and build relationships with people online and develop a following and, really put myself in a position to get the most out of my activity online. If there's a way for you to get access to the information in that challenge, I'd highly advise you to do so. But a part of that challenge, I think it was like day 10, was to try to get a podcast started, which was something that I've thought about before, but I didn't really know how to go about executing, getting a podcast started. But I don't know, just kind of going through that challenge, I was really in a mood to get things figured out. And here we are today. with the Uncle Project podcast. So yeah, really appreciate John on the Hive blockchain in the CTP community for issuing that challenge and playing a pivotal role in getting the Uncle Project started. All right, so next on the list is when can you expect episodes? And to be completely honest right now, that's kind of up in the air. So first time that I know you'll be able to expect episodes is whenever I complete a course or an ebook or any kind of certification that I'm going through. I'll try to make sure to get here to the podcast and talk about that with you all. Let's see. Today, I actually just did a post. I really want to try to get some different segments for different shows. One thing being a weekly show. Well, really just doing a weekly show and kind of mixing different segments up for that weekly show. But yeah, so I did a blog post on Hive earlier about some ideas that I had for that weekly show. I'll be sure to leave that somewhere in the show notes so you all can look over that. And that'll also give you a sneak peek into some of the content that we'll be creating on future episodes, which is pretty cool. So be sure to check that out. And yeah, if say as soon as I figure out how to do different segments and things, the sooner you will be able to expect new episodes. Crazy how that works out, right? But yeah, so that is the who, what, and when. Don't worry, we still got some more questions to answer. Hopefully you are enjoying the pod so far. I know I am. Let's get it. With the stock market going crazy in the news recently, one of the secrets of building wealth, investing, is now out of the bag. And nowadays, it's so easy getting started investing that it's almost irresponsible not to be an investor. But if you're new to investing, you will quickly find that there are some challenges ahead. Where do you go to get started? What stocks do you buy? Or do you even have enough money to get started investing? Well, don't worry about that. I've got the perfect platform for you. See, a lot of those successful investors that you're seeing on the news, they're leveraging the power of social media to get the ins and outs of investing from other experienced investors. And now you can too with the Public app. The Public app is taking the stock market social, making it easier than ever for you to invest while learning from other experienced investors. And the best part about it, it's absolutely free. Therefore, joining is almost a no-brainer, right? You know? So go ahead, get on the Public app, grow as an investor on their secure professional stock investment platform. You can follow friends, other famous entrepreneurs, and other experienced investors, strike up conversations with them, see what they're investing in and why. And another great thing is that you can invest with any amount of money. You can get started with as little as $1. And just being a friend of the show, you can even earn a free stock and support the show by joining Public with the show's link at bit.ly/Uncle Public. Again, that is bit.ly, bit.ly/Uncle Public. Say go ahead and sign up for public.com and the Public app with that link to help the show and earn some free stock. All right, so we're getting close to the end. Have a few more questions to go, but let's see. We'll go ahead and get right into those. So, where is the Uncle Project taking place? So, this is just the where portion of our podcast. So, the Uncle Project is actually taking place all around you. So, just being that I'm doing the podcast through Anchor, that allows me to post the podcast to anywhere that you would normally find your podcast. So Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. I think it's like on Stitcher, and a lot of other platforms where you normally find podcasts. Other than that, I'll also be kind of using some blogging platforms. If you use Twitter, Tumblr, or Medium, I'll have ways for you to find the podcast there as well. And even outside of those platforms, I'll also be on different decentralized social media platforms. So Hive, Odyssey, and Noise. Those are my big three decentralized social media platforms. And lately, that's where I've been doing most of my engagement. So if you're really trying to get my attention, outside of the comments on the show here, Hive, Odyssey, and Noise, that's kind of where I engage with those communities the most. And other than that, again, like I said, I'll kind of be using Stereo, the Stereo app. It's kind of like a sister account to this. I might be mashing up some content with the podcast and Stereo as well. And let's see, I did say I'd engage mostly with my decentralized social media platforms, but if you're just kind of wanting to engage with me live, Stereo is the way to do that. You can kind of voice chat in like live on the show, which is pretty cool. And really, you can do the same here as well. So send me a voice chat. You know where to find me. Pretty cool, right? And let's keep it moving. All right, so why are we doing the Uncle Project in the first place? So yeah, why are we here? All right, so some of my main goals starting out with the Uncle Project, can say the first thing for myself, I just kind of want to document my growth process as I complete new books, learn new skills, get through different courses, any achievements. Just kind of wanted to document that. And I think that in doing so, this can be a resource for others as well that are on a similar journey. Another thing that I wanted to do for you all as the listeners is to just curate different tools, different resources, and things that you can use along your journey and your growth process. And say, yes, I do want to learn things from you all and bounce ideas off you all as well. But and say just kind of seeing things that I'm doing, and I'll be watching you guys out there, and say I think it'll help somebody see a new skill that they can learn, or it can be a time saver. I might be spending time in a course that actually does absolutely nothing for me, and you all will know to maybe stay away from that course. It'll be a time saver for you all as well, which I think is pretty cool. But yeah, so other than that, just other goals. Why are we doing the Uncle Project? Just wanted to broadcast my message to a larger group and a larger audience than I'm currently getting to with my blogs and my vlogs. With those, I am focused more on decentralized platforms, but with this, I kind of really focused on just really broadcasting my message on more traditional, podcasting means. But yeah, and another thing that I like about this format, just being that I'm doing the podcast on Anchor, it allows me to connect with people in a different way. So let's say I don't want to make this like a podcast that you all just listen to. Hopefully, this is something that you all see as a interactive podcast. If you're listening to this on the Anchor app, you can chime in and talk to me. Let me know how you're feeling about the topics. If you have any questions to add for this frequently asked question episode, you all can ask those questions. And yeah, I can say this is more of a interactive podcast than anything. But yeah, so yeah, just being able to engage with people in the voice format. I had started using stereo a little bit before this, and it just kind of let me see like the comments are different than they are with a blog post. Like I get a little bit more of your personality with the voice comments, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so why do the Uncle Project? We're just trying to share the story, help some folks out along the way. And we're connecting with folks. Sounds like a good deal, right? Yeah. All right, and final question of the episode. So, how will this podcast be of any benefit to you all as listeners and as family of the podcast? So, yeah, you all, for one, get to engage in conversations with other people in the family, in the community, and myself as well. Again, you get to see me build this thing out and learn from the mistakes and some of the things that I do well. And overall, I'm just really hoping to create environment for growth So yeah, just make sure this is a place for positivity, also constructive criticism along with that, and just making sure we're creating mindset and habits for growth here. And yeah, and so I think that will be of plenty benefit to you all. But yeah, so that is the last question that I'm answering on this episode as I close it here. But if you all have any other questions, be sure to check this episode out on Anchor, so you can drop questions. I'd love to answer those in future episodes, and we'll keep on rocking this thing out. Thanks a lot for listening. Be sure to subscribe, hit the link to check out my website, and I will see you all or speak with you all on later episodes. Thank you all. Peace.